You're welcome to the Deweyi Drive. How are you doing? It is a Wednesday here, and from wherever you're watching from, good afternoon from Uganda. I am coming straight to you from Kampala, but where are you? And how are you doing? How is your town? Are you seeing the rains? I mean, we prayed for the rains last month, and here they are. So, well, Happy New Month. I think we haven't met since April started, but yeah, Happy New Month, and I hope that you are really doing fine. Now, I think the most exciting topics on this show so far have been those on parenting. They are the ones that excite you the most. And today, if you think that I have served you, you will be delighted. Now, our guest today is a passionate champion, a social change maker, working hard to see that there's positive impact on our youngest citizens. Yeah? And she's a child activist who is very passionate about sex education. And today's topic is quite controversial. I am one of those people that was always worried about sex education, maybe from my traditional point of view and from the way I understood it. But Gloria today is here to talk about the impact of not giving sex education to our children as early as possible. And I am thinking, this is so wrong. And I had this conversation before with her, and I was like, no way, I'm going to host you because I do not know if I agree with you, but maybe from this conversation, first of all, let me ask you, you can give your message right now on YouTube, or you can drop me a WhatsApp message on 773-356837, or you can do that on +256-773-356837. I'm going to share out to our sponsors, then we'll, of course, get to meet our guests today. Now, we want to introduce you to the greatest building materials, finishing materials, tiles, sinks, anything you need for your house. If you're building, are you setting up, are you renovating? And that is Building Experts in Nakasero. And Building Experts in Nakasero has got you covered. These guys are very interesting. They have the latest. They will tell you the truth. If you are looking for something important, you don't have to travel. You don't have to check a trip. They have it. So Building Experts is located on Capital Shoppers Plaza on Nakasero Market Street. And you can call 0754-515-855. I'll read the number again for you, 0754-515-855 or 0392-914-256. Call Building Expert and you'll definitely be happy. And of course, when it comes to live streaming events, weddings, whatever it is, you know these days you can get married and you must leave Kuvakuruja at all costs. I recently saw someone getting married and Omko was abroad on screen, Zoom, and he had a representative and I am as Omchari and Peter. So maybe you may not be Soboka, not because you're seeing these guys online. Clap Records can do all these things for you. Call Stuart on 0752-616-614. I'll read Clap Records again. The number is 0752-616-614. Any event, they get you covered. And of course, talking about home and interior, you know, in Passion on Tuesdays, we talk home decor, interior decor. And there's a paint for you in Boyogede. They do deliveries. They will advise you. They sell all types of paint, automotive, decorative. By decorative, I mean home, whatever you need, outdoor, exterior, interior. They have it all and they can advise you on the colors. So call 0772-987-442. I'll say the number again for you, 772-987-442. Now that is paint for you. And you are totally covered when it comes to paint and everything. Now, as I told you, our guest today will, if she does not excite you, then I don't know what will. If you're passionate, if you're a parent, if you're a guardian, if you're a teacher, if you're a religious leader, or you're a Sunday school leader, I feel like this is the show for you today, because today we're talking children and we're not segregating. We're just talking children and the topic of sex education. There's a lot of fear. Right now we're scared even about cartoons. We don't know, people are like, the cartoons my kids what I first watch them. And sometimes you know how life is busy and all those things. So anyhow, we are getting straight to discussing the matter about this sparkling conversation today. Yeah. So Gloria is a dynamic children's rights activist who is a passionate activist, and like I did edify her, but she's right here. She's going to tell us about herself. Welcome, Gloria.
Thank you very much. My name is Nabunya Gloria. and I am a children's rights activist. I'm also a CEO and founder of Together Against Childhood Sexual Violence Uganda. And now our organization is a child-centered organization that aims at ending childhood sexual violence in all its forms. We work with children, we work with parents, we work with schools in order to achieve our goal. And I am also a youth representative of Brave Movement Uganda. Brave Movement it's a movement that is totally dedicated to ending childhood sexual violence in like all around the world. Wow. So we also have a branch in Uganda, and I am among the steering committee, and I am the youth representative. Now our organization is also partnering with Good Deeds. Good Deeds is also a movement of doing good, and we are having, we are change makers. We are trying to do good. We are trying to, support other people, because we are supported as well. We are here not because we just came out of the blue, but we acknowledge that we are supported, and the support did us good, and we want to extend it back to the people. Yes, please.
Amazing. So yes, this is our awesome guest, Gloria. You can see she is a change maker who's already doing good. If one thing that we would love to do with this show is to bring you topics and to do conversations that will help us all become change makers at our grassroots, wherever we are. And I do hope that this show will do exactly that for you. I know that Gloria is a great storyteller, but today we're not diving into that. She's a very talented woman. Today we're talking about children. Now, Gloria, there's a fear. I'm one of those people that feels, and I know I'm not the only one, that most of us, maybe from a lack of knowledge, today you'll help us. I fear that when we talk about sex with children too early, it could be harmful.
Okay. So on that point, sex education is not sex. It's not entirely sex.
What is it?
Like, I am not
like sex education. You're telling you what happens.
Because most of the times, sex education, someone will first think of sex, and in our minds as grown people, the sex we have is the act. So automatically, when I talk sex education, someone will say, "Oh my goodness, the act." Some people have actually released a movie and called it sex education, and it involves the acts actually.
They're teaching you.
But now, sex education, what is it? It involves talking to children about their puberty. Most of the times, not actually most of the times, always, a girl, there's a transitioning stage for both girls and boys. We grow to become women, and boys grow to become men. And when you look at that stage, if someone is not aware of what they are going into, if someone is not aware of who they are going to become, they make mistakes. So imagine a girl, a baby. You're seeing her as a baby, and a child will always be a child in their mother's side. A child will always be a child in their father's side. That is why I understand if someone is saying no to sex education, but I also know that it is because they do not know. Most of the times we only look at if a girl is becoming a woman, okay, she will get her periods.
Yes.
I will provide her with the pads. What else?
We can even throw period parties.
So
we teach them to love the periods. Isn't that already my job done?
It is good. It is good,
but
you're not finished. You're not finished. You are only telling this child you're getting periods, and you're going to provide the pads, and that's it for you. But that is not providing the information, the total information she needs. Now, with sex education, you are providing great information to this child. You know what? You are now grown. You're becoming a woman. So, what are the things that you're most likely to face? Breasts will increase. Your body shape might improve. It will get better, and you're going to start attracting.
Wait a minute, isn't that stuff they're learning at school? I think in our days, as early as P6, you would learn this thing.
Now,
so actually, it's already happening.
There is a topic in science. There is a topic in science.
Yes.
But that is not enough. That is actually little. Let me actually give you an example. Imagine today I come and I tell you, for example, I want to teach you how to make pads, how to make pads. But it's a topic, and I have very, very many other topics to do. So today I'll tell you, this is how they make pads. What and what you get, you sew, you're done, you're good to go. Then the next day you'll be telling me, now let's study about the environment. This is how you agriculture. The next day you start different things. Yeah. But for a mind like that, you will go off track. You will sometimes forget, what did they tell us here about, about the pads? I don't remember how they make pads. And they don't actually teach that in the schools, in science. No, that is part of...
And that's the problem? That's a problem?
Yeah, no. It's not a problem, but it can be a problem. Actually, it is a problem. It's a problem. And that is why we are having period poverty, because such things are not involved in our academics. Like,
you talk of period poverty, people in the social space, social change and change-making space understand it. So somebody who's watching for the first time is thinking, period poverty.
Period poverty is a state. Actually, we are in that state as a country, Uganda. It is a state whereby girls cannot afford sanitary towels. They cannot afford pads. So they resort, some of them, to using soil. They pack soil in a polythene bag. Some of them choose to stay home when it's time to go to school because they do not have that. But that is not why I'm here. I'm actually here to tell you about sex education.
Okay, let's actually.
And now in sex education, we are limiting it to sex, the act. It is more than the act.
And you said school.
It is actually important for us to focus on sex education as a way of protecting our children against childhood sexual violence.
I wanted to ask you, this came to mind when you were saying they are teaching that it's not enough. What do you think in our Ugandan curriculum that the children are not learning about sex education that they should learn?
The whole bit of it. The whole bit of sex education is actually not learned.
Like too much for a child?
No, it's not too much for a child. I am one of the people that have got a chance to do a free course, provided by UNICEF Uganda, and this course it tried to share and explain that at least countries should take on sex education, and put it in their academics, and also examine it, And why do you think an organization like UNICEF has felt the need of examination of sex education? It is because of the gaps. If it was enough that was given in schools, we would be seeing less cases of childhood sexual violence. We would be seeing less cases of prostitution. Sex education actually addresses a lot. I am sure, actually, let me tell you about the campaign we have. We have a campaign running at Together Against Childhood Sexual Violence. It is called You Have a Right to Say No. And in this campaign, we provide sex education to children. But what do we tell them? That would be the question.
That's the question.
What do we tell them?
What do you tell them?
First of all, since we were focused on childhood sexual violence, I'll describe for you what childhood sexual violence is. Childhood sexual violence is an act or any activity or involving a child in a sexual activity, either by a minor or by an adult. And it involves touching and untouching behavior. Now, we provide the sex education under the You Have a Right to Say No, and we tell these children that actually, most of the times they are abused. Like, I think I've told you this story before. Children sometimes are raped. Yeah. Sometimes they are defiled, But it is not that all children are raped. There are some that are defiled. Yes. And it is not that everyone that is defiled because they want. But they are defiled because they do not know. I'll give you an example. I have been working on different stories of people that have shared with me. And in these stories, you will find that this child was actually involved in a sexual activity without their knowledge, without them knowing, without their consent. It is because they were lied to. It is because they were told something that is false, and they ended up. Yes, I'm coming at that. I'll give you, I think, 2 or 3 different examples. The first one, a member shared, actually. She's now working with us because we actually love working with survivors of childhood sexual violence. So she shared, and she said when she was young, I think 14 to 15, they had a party at their home, and the brother came with his friends. And now these friends of the brother, they danced with her. You know how parties can happen at home, and people are, dancing, enjoying what. And this guy took her aside in a dark place, and he tried to put his finger in her vagina to penetrate using the finger. But I think the finger was not going, because she explains that she tried to stop him. And when she tried to stop him, the next day, this guy met this girl. And he told her, "Madam, you are rocky. You're like a rock down there. Women are supposed to have a hole. For you do not have a hole."
How old was this child you're talking about?
I'm talking about a 14-year-old. This, because she describes that the boy was 2 years older than her. Yes. So the boy is telling her, women are supposed to have a hole. You don't have a hole. So unless you want me to tell the entire village that for you do not have a hole, you should come to me. I help you create that hole. So she was worried, scared of telling her parents. The mother will kill her. She explains. She was worried of telling her friends. They will laugh at her. She wanted to be a woman. So when she went to this guy, sexually abused, she got pregnant. Those are the teenage pregnancies. But where is the root of this? Not knowing. Misinformation, myths and misconception, not knowing that actually this guy is lying to me. If someone had reached out to this girl, maybe in school, maybe at home, and told her, you know what, a girl can be a virgin when she's, when she's young, when she's growing, and with that virginity, there is a seal, and it does not have to be broken until maybe you are married, until maybe you now wish, but you're 18 years and above, you make that choice.
Allow you to grow, yes.
You make that choice by yourself.
We have that in our time.
Yes, but they're not telling this to the kids, and especially because of parents saying, "You're teaching our children sex we don't want," but they're not teaching your children sex. They are providing them with the right information. Another girl continues to narrate. There is this boyfriend of mine. We were, we were there. We used to just romance. But then this time he told me we try it. I refused, but he told me we try it. He kept buying me chips. He kept buying her what? Chips. He was consistent with what he wanted. So he kept buying her chips. And tell you what, she gave in. When she gave in, she describes, I think she was in her senior 4 VAC. When she gave in, the guy after told her, you know what, you're going to be taking Panados. He bought her a strip. You will be taking 1 each day until they get done. You will not get pregnant.
Wow.
The girl ended up getting pregnant.
Oh, Katwega Tako, ndozolaba how sensitive this topic is. We're talking about childhood, sex,
sex education. Actually, what we are doing is we are addressing limited
sex education in summary. Naye kakati ngo as much as the topic etweralikiriza nnyo Gloria n'ebintu byogedde n'enkyango omuzadde nti tuba tutya nti abaana baffe bagenda basomesa sex babagamba ki naye atolidde abaana bali mu bulabe. Topic is sensitive. Actually, I didn't realize. And the topic is really sensitive. Abaana banga bayitambuze. Omwana bamumilisa Panado.
Yes, ate naafuna olubuto. Ate gayina alwegana n'amugamba nedda. Nze saalukwa kubanga nagamba omire Panado tewazimira nti ye nazimira.
Omwana ono yalinkana atya?
Okitegeera. I've told you she was in her senior 4 VAC.
Senior 4 VAC abanga 16.
Yeah, like around 16 years old.
So abaana.
Now I want to inform you. When you go to a school, I have been to different campaigns. I've done different campaigns in schools. When you go to a school, you will ask children, what are bad touches? Does any one of you know what bad touches are? And they shy away when it comes to that topic. Not because they don't know, but because maybe some of them have actually been involved in the act. But or some of them, are shy, So yes,
Yeah.
So some of them come out and show you this is a private part. This is a private
No
part.
one should touch. No one should feel.
No one should touch. But what we are doing, to kakatiriza, we want them to be so aware that even if someone is doing this, even if someone is telling me this, these are a no-go zone.
Yes.
Not until at least maybe when I'm 18 years I can decide. But these are a no-go zone. Otherwise, you will end up getting HIV stroke.
That work with you,
even people,
drivers, they will end up.
Yes, because actually, we try to tell these children, they are not actually sexually abused by only maybe strangers. Children are sexually abused by their fathers. They are sexually abused by their mothers. They are sexually abused by their house helps. They are sexually abused by the drivers, border guys. Everyone can sexually abuse a child. Everyone is in position and can. What we are advocating for is while everyone has proved to be that aggressive to attack a child, can we create a safe space for children, starting with themselves, with them being able to make this decision? Okay, although I need the box, I don't have to first go and have sex with someone to get the box. And that is the doing good I've been telling you about. When we go for these campaigns, we are trying to support these children as well. We give them books, we give them pens, things to help them through education. Actually, yes, because they use the listings. Let me tell you, I was trying to share with a friend that predators or perpetrators are very serious people. You see, parents might think they're serious people when it comes to raising children, but a perpetrator, they always know what they want, So they are consistent. They will tell your child today, I love you. You've never told your child, I love you. You don't even have that at the back of your mind. Because for you, you're an African parent. We don't tell our children we love them. A perpetrator, I love you today.
I love you tomorrow.
I love you tomorrow.
I love you in December, January.
Thank you very much. Not only I love you, they will back this I love you with
acts of
love. So, and remember, we are humans. Maybe this child has reached her adolescent stage.
She has needs.
Maybe she has, her body, the girl will end up giving in. But that is not a child giving in. That is a man using a child actually.
Yeah.
He's using the child and he's perpetrating them.
Ndoza chendabye lero nti abaana wadde bulize bulijjo banasikiriza mwana kubasomesa sex education. It's just that as we go on, it's just I'm realizing nti abaana actually obutamanya bintu bino kyobola abaana abasajja oba abakazi abakozesa abaana. They're taking advantage of them. Kuba abaana tebamanyi mibiri gyabwe. Omwana ajja omuntu n'amulimba. And Gloria, you have all these facts that are just, they're eye-opening for me as a mother, especially a mother of boys. I am worried. Working directly with survivors, one of common threads is all of these common joins or two
the first very common one is the lack of sex education. It is so common. Driving abaana bangi okubeera nga ba victims of childhood sexual violence. Obutamanya nti okuba oli agenda n'alimba omwana era bangi babalimba kuba waliwo omwana yalimba banne muwala yalimba bawala banne n'abagamba nti mumanyi nti okuzaala olina kusooka kuyingira lombeto yange anti abaana mu kisulo balina obatawulo kati nga buli omu yababuuza wakuba kumwe kuliko ayagala okuzaala mu ddoomu olina kuyita wange. You can imagine ng'abasimbya layini primary 4 Parents think a child maybe will be abused in a later stage. No. You should empower them now. You should tell them now that my girl, my boy, and actually all of them, because boys are also sexually abused. I have heard different stories from friends, different stories from boys. They tell you, our neighbor used to call me and tells me to put his thing in my mouth. To put his thing in my mouth. This is a very, very, very little boy, but you're telling him, you're luring him to doing this. How about I tell this boy, if any man tries to call you to tell you this and this, do not allow anyone to touch your private parts. Make sure everything you hear in the community, talk to me about it. Ask me. Have that open communication with your child. If they ask about condoms, do not be like, no. Tell them condoms are used to do this and this. To protect, and this is why you need them. But it is important for you to also add, but at this level you are on, you do not need to use condoms. You need to abstain from sex. Now, abstinence. That is our core drive.
Abana bano batubuze ebintu bino nga tulaba ono omwana mutonyo yabijewa n'okambona kati bano nabo bakozesanga amaanyi nti ono omwana tamanyi tali expose ignorance eyo
ate naddayo n'akikolera mu background. Kati waliwo omusajja era eyagamba omuwala baali awo omuwala agenze mu saaluuni bali mu kunyumya bali mu saaluuni bali mu kunyumya. You know how you go to a saloon nabo abasajja bwe bagenda oluusi mu saloon bebuze bwanto ne banyumya. Kati bali mu kunyumya abasajja nga baligamba tewali musajja ayagala kufumbirwa kawala kali virgin. No man wants to marry a virgin girl. They are not experienced. Biri awo tebimanyi kyakola. Okitegera, this girl is in her senior 3. She's listening to these words. She's listening to these words. She doesn't know. She's now panicking.
Who will marry me?
Who's going to marry me?
No one
as a virgin girl. Oh, And after she describes that she leaves the saloon, and one of the men follows her. Oli, are you a culprit of what we are talking about? Because if you are a virgin,
I can help you.
I can help you.
Imagine. It's so sad. It's so good that we're having these conversations, and I'm so glad for this. I thank God for this platform, the Deweyi Drive. There's so much we do not know as parents. And even as we grow now, we thought we knew things. Things are different right now.
Yeah, and on that point, you can look at the exposure children have. Access to internet, TikTok, everything. Me, I was sharing still with a friend that a person that introduced me to pornography when I was still a child, he came and told me, he was a fellow child and told me, put this. Only 3 letters. And we put, and things came, and we started watching. What is that? Child sexual violence. A relative, a cousin. So there are things for us as parents. You will say, "I'm protecting my child." What are you protecting them with? Funding them. A friend said, a friend told me, a friend shared, and she said, parents have become funders. So you're protecting your children by funding them.
Now, Gloria, as the CEO and founder of Together Against Childhood Sexual Violence Uganda,
yes,
can you tell us about your organization's mission and the impact you've made so far?
Now, our organization is fresh, if I'm to say.
Fresh,
yes, it is fresh, but I'm not fresh in the advocacy world. Yes. I started this organization in, is it February? Actually, when January was ending this year. This year, 2025. And I am glad to say, yes, because I have this vision. I am a survivor actually of childhood sexual violence.
Because I was about to ask you that.
Yeah.
You are so passionate about this. What
I was
inspired
sexually
you to do
abused when I was a child.
So that's tell us about it.
Yes. So my story when I was a child, we grew up in a family that had, extended families, very many people, and there is this one cousin of us. I will speak for myself. I will not speak for others because I wasn't the only one that was sexually abused in that home. But I will speak for myself. I was sexually abused by this man who had already sexually abused other people in this home, but he stayed in the home. They allowed him to stay in the home. So remember, I'm a child. So he could just keep on taking advantage of us. And it hurt me so hard when I grew up. Like, why is it that my parents actually left this perpetrator in the house? Do you know what they did?
No.
Actually, my parents, I'm not even sure if they were aware, because my father is always up country, so he was always up country. My mother had a school, and she was, all the mind was focused on the school. That is why parenting is
your presence.
It's something serious that we've not realized. But when we improve our parenting, we shall actually prevent violence.
On that note, I want to shout out to women that are watching this show and you gave up your career to raise your children. Many of them. I have a friend, Sarah, in the Well Moms. She quit her job and she said, I've decided to watch my children, and so many other moms. And usually society gamba what? But this is what you're saying now.
Yeah, because and let me tell you, it is what I'm telling you. So my parents were not around, so I was sexually abused. And what my elder siblings did, what they thought was actually right, was to cane the perpetrator. and actually they caned some of the victims.
And
so they caned them together.
Yes.
I don't know what they thought.
I don't know.
That now the victim threw herself. Like I think you've also heard stories.
No, I think the reason they punish is for keeping quiet.
No.
So you could have told
You shouldn't punish me for keeping quiet. You do not know why I kept quiet. Some of the parents have very, very rough attitudes towards children. A child cannot tell you anything. A child cannot communicate anything to a parent. You've not created the open communication. Otherwise, if you did, why would I keep quiet? Why would I keep quiet if you did? Some of those girls were just raped. And most of the time, the first incidence is rape. And when they do away with the rape, because these perpetrators threaten, my dear. They do not think they just come at you and they go. No, they threaten. If you dare say anything to anyone,
I'm going to kill you.
I will kill you.
But
did I kill? They're just threatening our little ones. So it is very important for you as a parent to create that communication, a relationship, whereby you can speak. Ask your child, what is going on in school? Is there anyone disturbing you? Is there any? Has anyone reached out to you? Has anyone wrote some kind of a paper for you, a note for you? And a child, whenever you keep engaging them, a child will tell you, by the way, mommy, it's supposed to be a consistent engagement. By the way, mommy, there is a boy that wrote me a cheat.
Yeah.
There's a girl that wrote me a cheat.
I used to be that child. I would take the note straight to my parents, my dad and my mom.
But take a look at your family.
Yeah.
How was the relationship?
We were close. Our mom always tried to build a friendship.
Why would I tell you something if you're not close to me?
Yeah, and my dad, as tough as he was my friend. So I would immediately go to him and would say, yes, you want to go to the salon? Well done, Jacqueline Baba. Let's go and do your hair. Not even get rewarded for reporting.
It is very important to create that relationship, in that if this girl finds a man on the way and the man is a stranger, giving her gifts, telling her, you are a very beautiful girl. You are very this girl knows. No, my mom told me I know I'm very beautiful.
I've not heard it the first time from you.
Yeah. I know I'm very beautiful. So you're telling
we
me
really need to edify, to make to affirm our children. I was going to ask you, but you've answered the question before I asked you. I was going to say, in your wisdom, what do you see as consequences of inadequate sex education? Actually, according to the statistics, Gloria, you've shared with me, these are for Uganda Police, 2024, 12,312 cases of defilement were reported last year in 2024, and of which 99 or 98, 97% are girls, because it's 12,009 victims being girls, and then 308 are boys, and probably these are just numbers of reported cases, because usually with sexual violence for children, among children, they don't get to talk. And like right now, probably, did your parents ever find out that you were being violated sexually as a child? No.
I've never even told you.
Exactly. And now, because you've grown up, you're more empowered.
Yeah, but right now I am okay. Actually, I had never told them. They didn't find out. But later, I shared with my mother, because you know sometimes even parents will show you they are not interested in what is happening in your life. Now I tell them. People, we love to talk to people that are interested. Yeah? How are you, my daughter? What is going on? But some of the people, let me tell you out there, they never had such a statement from their parents. How are you, my daughter? What is going on? I love you. Yeah? In the sex education, like you had asked what we are telling the children. I think you've had. Maybe let me give maybe a set of simplified things, you know. So we tell, in sex education, we are trying to tell these children how to understand their bodies. Like I told you, a girl is growing from being a girl to a woman. And I was telling children on Women's Day that there is no age that is set to which a girl becomes a woman. Do you know that? There is no age. You see, by law there is 18. You're now an adult. But there is no age that is set for you to become a woman.
Yeah,
why?
At 15, when you get pregnant, they'll marry you.
You're already a woman. They will marry you off, even if you're not pregnant, because maybe they want some bride price, no fees. They will marry you off. So you're already becoming a woman. You know. So if we are conscious of what we want, if we are conscious, if we are empowered as children, we can do better.
Actually, speaking of empowerment, now, Gloria, you're where my heart was going. What? How can parents, maybe caregivers, caretakers, and educators, teachers, because this is for all of us now, how can we play a role in preventing childhood sexual violence and in supporting survivors? Because like you say, first instincts in a traditional home, I guess even in my mom's home, they would cane you, like bulijjo abasajja bakukozesa lwaki wayonooneka dda, but omwana ono bagamba yayonooneka.
Okay,
ani yamwonoona? How?
Okay.
What happened?
Okay, this is it. Most of the time, I'm not going to blame it on poor parenting, but I will say poor parenting. I'm not blaming it on poor parenting. You know, I'm a student of I am a student of Dr. C.O. Godfrey, and we are studying the science of evidence-based parenting.
Yes.
And let me tell you this. Like I have been telling you, if our relationship is good, when a man comes to me and tells me they love me, I will tell you first. When they give me something, I will tell you. Because you told me earlier, if a man gives you anything, you first bring it to me and I see it. And I will tell you what to tell him.
These things unless you're going to eat them,
but you know, you here you're trying to entice this child to bring the info to you as a parent. When you get this, you're going to tell this child, actually now, do not be in contact with this person. This person, maybe they want to use you, but yet for you, you have a goal. You want to excel academically. You want to become an engineer. When you ask those children, they will tell you, I want to become this. I want to become that. That which you want to become. This person that is trying to gift you, they are trying to stop you from getting to your what? Your destiny, from achieving your goal. So, what you're doing as a parent, the role you're playing is protection. And not protection by locking the doors, but by informing this child. As a young girl, as a girl that is below this age, there are things you're not supposed to be doing. You don't go to that club. I know you have friends, but make sure you choose your friends wisely. If you have your friends and they're telling you for them they want to go out, they want to wear mini skirts, they want to chop their skirts. You know, children have a tendency of chopping uniform. I want to chop my uniform so that I look good.
Since those days,
the
cool kids always had shorter skirts.
You know,
They would review them, they would iron them, and all the boys would run around with them.
Make sure you engage your child. Who are your peers? Me, I remember at the time we were in schools, you would find that some parents would come and they would actually be interested in knowing the friends of their children. Bring me your friends, I see them. And with that, parents would be like, oh my goodness. So my child, I think she needs this kind of information because these are the friends she has.
Let me ask.
You know, so you're helping. You're helping.
What are some of the ways you spoke about us getting to know and knowing who they are hanging with? I think it's one important thing we should pay attention to. You see their kind of language,
the relationships,
but
they have.
But also, I wanted to ask now. You are very knowledgeable, and of course, most importantly, you're a student of evidence-based parenting. So you are an expert now. With plus your advocacy work for. You've done how long have you been a child rights advocacy?
I think I've been for close to 2 to 3 years.
Imagine you're an expert now. So Gloria, what are some of the ways we can help these children, our neighbors' children in the society? For example, we're in a generation where people are in apartments, people are renting, people are in condos. You know, all these children are your children. They play with your children. Our children play with them. And maybe sometimes our children are making mistakes and we don't realize. And they're going to play with our kids. Are there ways to teach them about consent, healthy boundaries?
You see those things, the way you're drifting them. No, that's sex education.
So
you're trying to uncover it.
So
yourself.
How do we do it?
So now, I remember those days. A child was a child of the community. You know, a mother was not only a mother to one child, but a mother was a mother to children in the community. A father was a father to children in the community. You know, and that means that if a mother found a child in a corner with another boy, this mother would tell this child, this is wrong. I will report you to your what? To your parents. But today, like you've said, people are in their apartments, people are in the... I think we should... I'm not going to say we should return. But I think we should have the kind nature of human beings. That even when it looks like it does not concern us for a child to be engaged in sexual activity, let us give ear and let us pay attention and let us stand up for these children. You know, people are not aware that children are children. Even their minds are not like a mind of an adult. Step in. You're walking on the way. You find an old man, he's like 50 years, he's talking to a very little girl, and you know you'll see the expressions. The girl will be like this. The girl will be like, step in and wait, you stand there. You stand there. Where they are, stand. Stand. And pretend you're on a phone call, and if you listen, call this girl, tell her, excuse me, little girl. Either tell her, your mother sent me to you, or tell her, I want to talk to you. This man is lying to you. Don't you have maybe a goal, and the girl will tell you, maybe I want to do this, or what, or this, or this. Tell her, this man is going to stop you from achieving your goal. It's a matter of stepping in. Whenever we get the chance to. You're in a school, you're in an environment where you're surrounded by children. Tell them you are very beautiful children. God loves you. You are created for a very big purpose. But do not be distracted. There are people, there are men and women out there that are waiting to distract children. Don't go with them. Do not go with them. Stay on track. Read your books. Focus, you will achieve.
Let me ask.
Very little things we can do to empower children, actually. Because children love people that talk to them. Children love people that play with them. Children love, and they always listen. Like I was also sharing, that there is that information you will hear once and it will get stuck in your brain. So never know. It is that small information you're going to tell this child that is going to protect them until they get married.
So how much time do we have? Because I still have some questions for Gloria. This topic has ended up being very interesting. Oh, we still have some good time. Okay. You're studying the science of evidence-based parenting.
Yes.
How does this knowledge impact your opinion on how parents parents should raise their children and teach them about sex and safety?
First of all, I don't think there is a parent that wants to
Be told what to do.
be told what to do.
No.
They have that tendency. Don't tell me what to do with
I'm
my
raising
children.
my child, my children, my son.
They want to raise their children in a way that, my child. I think you've also heard of stories whereby you're a guest and a child will come and play with you. Now, as a student that is studying evidence-based parenting, this course is actually empowering me to know things I have never thought of, to know things that I have never known, and to also make sure that the programs I'm giving to children, all the projects we are running, are evidence-based. So in this program, we are going to, as students, we are going to draft different interventions. And now, in my intervention, okay, I've not thought of it deeply, I've not worked on it, but in my interventions, I'm aiming at improving communication, because communication is key and is the first thing I'll look at. Communication. Improving parent-children communication.
For, in homes where when daddy comes in, every child runs to hold a book.
Thank you very much. Quiet. But instead, if at all they could communicate, maybe they would be like, this time you can read, this time you can maybe talk,
do movie nights
or something, So now, improving communication. It is going to help me, I'll be talking to parents and children, and I want to gather them, at once. And also, improving the relationship between parents. There are different cases. I don't know if women have experienced this, but there are people that have experienced this. Some people have experienced this, whereby we separated. Actually, I want my intervention to strengthen the family as a unit. In order to, end child sexual violence. Because there are cases whereby omukyala yanova tata n'asigaza abaana.
I've seen such stories in the news.
Thank you very much. But if the mother was in the home,
it would not have happened ever.
Although we do not forget that it still happens whereby some mothers are in the homes and the other child and they're also saying when they get the chance to speak, Banange, government etuyambe, nze nkompitinga ne muwala wange ku musajja. Instead of, actually this is the process of reporting. Someone might be out there and they are experiencing violence.
Yeah, and they're watching.
Call 116.
That goes straight to
Sauti. Call 116. Inform them this and this is going on. If it's, do not fear to report violence. Please be
even
brave.
If it's your father.
Even if it's your father.
Actually, speaking of consequences, you have dealt one-on-one firsthand with lots of victims.
Yes.
What are some of these consequences they are experiencing now that could have been avoided had they received sex education?
Teenage pregnancies. That is the first thing. School dropouts. Abana ne bava mu ssomero. Diseases like HIV. Kubanga ogenda okwekanga nga bana abantu abakulu omukazi omukulu lwedde yalwala dde ebirwadde azze kalenzi ka myaka 17 ayagala kalimu ndasi. Okitegeera? Death, suicide. Some of the children, when they're sexually abused, they hang themselves. I'm telling you. And then, actually, I think let me not talk about this. But, that is why, you see the rising hate of men and the rising hate of women. Some of them are from sexual abuse.
To be lesbians or gay men because of their traumas.
Someone is hating women.
Because a woman violated him sexually as a child. His nanny or his mom or his auntie or teacher, even teachers are...
Like I told you, that everyone can be to be safe spaces. We can all be safe spaces. Like I told you, now if a teacher maybe sees those notes, I remember myself, I think I'm among the people that used to write the notes. And it was at a point of not knowing that what I was doing was not right.
Like a boy.
To a boy.
And
and you can imagine.
When you're young,
and let me tell you, actually, the most serious consequence of a child experiencing sexual abuse is perpetrating it. If I have been sexually abused, and now, because you've introduced me to this thing,
normal, yes,
I will have no problem of telling my boyfriend, even when I'm 16, even when I'm 15, let's do.
Because your body has been activated.
My body has been activated, and I'm like, this is okay, let's do. I'm telling you. Or even later in future, I'm 50 years old, or I'm 40 or 30 years old, and I want girls that are young. Because I was sexually abused when I was young. I will have no problem. And that is why actually I introduced to you my next intervention. My next project is called Voices for Protection. Where are the youth that have been sexually abused? I want us to sit down. Let us talk
and release this
trauma. Let us release. Let us get. If you need counseling, let's go for counseling. We need to talk. What is it? Do not go on perpetrating. Don't perpetrate. No. Let's talk about this.
And
what needs to be done
so that you don't become a perpetrator.
Yes, so that you do not become a perpetrator. Some of them will end up sexually abusing their children. After all, my father was also sexually abused me.
Did I ask him to? Now that you've spoken about these victims of childhood sexual violence, if somebody's watching right now and they probably stumble on this video, we've done it today, they may watch it tomorrow or some other day, or a friend could share with them. What is the one message you could convey to them? Because you have also experienced it. But maybe if you were to tell them something, and maybe they are battling with anger, feelings of hate, suicide, pain. What's that one message you can convey to them now?
And they've been sexually abused?
Yes. As a child,
so, this is what I could tell you. This is what I can tell you. First of all, let me share an experience of a person. She told me how she overcame these suicides, these thoughts. Actually, she also used to have dreams, sexual dreams. She told me how she overcame was by going to fellowship and praying, which is very good. Now, that is one way of achieving. That is one way of, releasing yourself. Now, the second way of releasing yourself, try counseling. We undermine counseling.
Yeah.
We really undermine counseling.
Especially in our society, we've not accepted it.
Yes, we've not accepted it.
The power.
But try counseling. Talk to someone. Talk to a counselor. You can talk to me. Call me. My number is 070 13 053 77. Talk to me. Talk to someone. My number is 070 13 053 77. Do not commit suicide. Actually, be the point of change. Be the reason for someone to say, even though I was almost going to be sexually abused, there is a lady that came to me with her story
and saved my
life.
Wow.
You can still thrive. Me too, I tell myself every day. Even when I was sexually abused by that perpetrator, I will not let any other child be sexually abused on my watch. I might not be able to control the perpetrators or to do what, but I will protect, I will prevent, I will give information to children. And also I am encouraging government, I am encouraging different institutions to interest themselves in starting institutions, in starting campaigns, in starting hospitals for treating survivors and perpetrators. Actually, especially the government. Most of the times, when we get when they arrest these perpetrators, I don't even think they give them these programs, these treatment programs. But even the perpetrators themselves, they need these programs so that when they come back to the society, they do not perpetrate the sexual violence again. Let me finish this one. Our president, when there's that time in COVID when he was releasing some prisoners, he released defilers. He released those that are sexually abusing our children. Now we do not know whether these people got even treatment. They are coming back to the community. We are worried. I cannot do this alone. No. Gloria cannot do this alone. But with you, you have media here. You can speak with different partners. I'm working with different partners, like I told you, in Brave Movement, Raising Teenagers Uganda, High Hope, Strong Minds. I'm working with like different organizations to achieve this, and I am telling you that we all have a role to play. Even you, the survivor that has been sexually abused.
As we conclude our conversation, Gloria,
yes,
do you at your organization have any upcoming initiatives that the audience can look out for, and so that in a way they know how they can be able to connect with you or to support you, or as victims work with you, come to you for emotional support?
So what I can say is we are having 2 programs running. We are having You Have a Right to Say No. Now, You Have a Right to Say No is the one that aims at providing the intentional sex education in schools. We have that program running right now. And this program, we give the sex education, but also we support children with scholastic materials and pads. Why? Because, like I told you people, these small things are the things perpetrators use. Because this girl will want to be in school, and now she doesn't have pads, now she doesn't have books, and then I will tell her, come, me, I will give you the money to buy, and they will sexually abuse them. So yeah, that one. And also we are having, we need partners. We want you to partner with us. If you're there and you're looking for partners, please partner with us. Please help us support children. You can donate books, you can donate pens, you can donate bags. We are having a bag campaign. At 30K, you can support a child with quality education. You can buy a bag. It's on Friday this week. So Friday this week, we shall be in field at Katiti Primary School, and we are going to provide the sex education. And we are going to be with, there's a lady coming from America. She's called Angela Kansime. Yes, I think. And she's supporting us with bags, 20 bags.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Yes.
You are a real change maker, and you're not just talking about the change, but you, Gloria, are taking action. Thank you so much, Gloria, for sharing with us about the work you're doing. And I really do hope that you can become a panelist on this show, so that we constantly have you, even when we have other guests talking parenting, because you are a student of evidence-based parenting. And you are working direct at the grassroots with the children, with victims. And every day when we're talking parenting, there are lots of things that you are meeting, maybe in your class, in your study, and in the field. So I hope that you can say yes to being a panelist on the show. And most importantly, there's a quote that I love by Just Liar. Children are not things to be molded, but people to be unfolded. Thank you so much for opening up our eyes again about sexual education and childhood sexual violence. We know these things, we hear them, but today it was a deeper understanding for me, and I do hope nti n'omulabi waffe ategedde bingi nnyo because that is what this platform is about. The Deweyi Drive is about driving sustainable change, building change makers, about seeing transformational change from the things we do. And today's conversation, for me, I feel like if it has done anything, it has really opened the eyes of the parents. You cannot stay the same. And maybe your final words.
My final word is this. I learned this from one of our facilitators in the science of evidence-based parenting. She said that parenting is the vaccine. Parenting is the vaccine for violence against children.
Wow, parenting
is the vaccine.
So you just giving birth and providing to your children, you're not parent.
No. You're being a funder, like someone told me.
We are funding our
You're
children.
being a funder.
You're paying rent in nice
Invest your time in the children.
Yeah, be present.
Talk to them. Open communication. Discuss their relationships. puberty with
TikTok
them.
etwalidde obudde bungi tetukkiriza kulaba baana tubeera ku TikTok obudde ne buzika netuva ku TikTok netulaba TV netulaba ebinigerian netulaba ebiyindi omwana ali awo bakabasanya okugula n'omwana nalaba
ebinigeria byolaba omwana tomuwa kubitabo okusomako omwana toyogerako naye totuulako naye
wanonwanaakazannyo katuuse
waliwo eggulo mukwano gwange nabadde nyume naye nemugamba ati ebyo byempulira mu background neŋamba nno kano kazannyo ka mutabani wange naye kankutte nange omubabiri.
Well, Gloria, you've been such an awesome guest, and I really, really do hope that you learned so much. We've been saying sex education is bad, but we were speaking from a point of ignorance. And I really feel like there's so much to this subject, to this topic, and there's so much knowledge for us to tap from Gloria. And yes, I'm going to do my best to get her here every Wednesday alongside other guests just to help us become better parents, because parenting, I think it does not stop. There is no formula, there is no format. You just cannot get it right.
There is that last thing I also noted, that a lady told us that parenting is consistent and it never stops.
Yeah. Because even at this age, I still need my mother.
Aren't you a child?
I call her and I get stuck and I'm crying and I tell her this is going on. You understand? And she's panicking. You know. Yeah.
So parenting doesn't stop. It is a consistent act. Today you're talking to, and like I was telling someone, the other perpetrator will be consistent, but for you will tell your child, I love you. And also, I think parents should consider taking on this reinforcement theory of learning, positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement. Like you remember when you said that I only reward the other one.
The younger one,
But rewarding
the big brother, when you beat him, he becomes real rebellious.
Rewarding is a what? Is a positive reinforcement.
The younger one,
she can
let me come. Yes. So when I say, okay, Pedro is going to take a bath and I'm going to give yogurt or I'm going to give milk, he says, Mommy, I'm a good boy. Let's go and bathe. Because now there's a reward for the brother. He also wants it.
But also, we should make sure we're not bribing.
No, we're not bribing.
In that way.
We are giving rewards.
There are some parents that actually take on the bribing.
No, I don't.
Wamma gendo wulirize mama wo ku simu ayogera. Njagala omanyi.
Ayogera nani?
Gendo je bakutata w'essimu yogireeti. Yakuwa essente. Omwana ajibba. Nga mama atandika kukebera simu ya taata.
There's a lot to talk about. There's so much. Stewart, do we have any more 5 minutes or we are totally done? Oh my goodness, this topic was so interesting. You guys, change makers are going to finish me, but I know that by the time the year ends, I will be a better parent. This show is only going to make me a better person. Gloria, I honestly learned so much from you today. And I believe there's so much knowledge to tap in from you. And I'm really excited about you accepting to come on the show today. Thank you. And to the audience, thank you for being such a great audience. Reminding you of our sponsors, of course. Paint for you, it will get a premium paints. Durable, they do waterproofing most importantly. Waterproofing is not done by the usual just simple brushing. It's a there's real waterproofing that is professional. About waterproofing experts. 773 35 6837. 773 35 6837. Over number screen wali but building experts Nakasero Market. Nakasero Market. Capital Nakasero Street. Capital Shoppers Plaza. Abantu abo ebintu ebyolaba ku screen balina. Tewetaaga kulinnya nnyonyi kuteeka munyo ssente ate ng'emisolo bagisasudde nibabireeta genda bakwene ku advice omanye enzimba eriko enzimba etava ku mulembe ebyo byonna bajja kuba nga bakuwa amagezi. Stewart, producer wange, my creative producer is Enoch Nsubuga, and of course Clark Records is the man. Move for Pendo Stays is giving free consultation if you want to set up Airbnbs. Call or WhatsApp 0772 987 442 772 987 442. They help set up Airbnbs, and they help you manage and run your Airbnb space, and they will guide you on everything you need. And you go check them out, Mufatenda Stays on Airbnb, and check out the offers they do have for you. It's been a beautiful Wednesday. I wish the time was still on our side. I was still enjoying myself.
Yes, thank you very much.